Yes, thank you very much, and thank you also to all the panelists. Now we are moving from theory into practice, and as Maren has already mentioned, we have invited organizations and companies that are implementing hydrogen projects in Slovenia. We have one speaker in presence here and 4 more online, and they will provide us with insight into the challenges, successes, and the future outlooks of their hydrogen applications. We have said this to all speakers before, but I would like to remind that we would like you to stay within 8 minutes time, just so we have enough time afterwards for question and answer, and we can bring all the speakers again back up here to the front. So first up, I would like to invite Mr. Aleš Bratkovič here with me, our only speaker in presence today. Transform waste into value, that's the motto of the company he's representing here today, RECUPERA, and without further ado, I would like to give the floor to him to present what they're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to everyone who came here today. Actually, my motto in life is always, if your actions do not live up to your words, don't speak. You have nothing to say. Meaning, we have to act. Put in practice, be bold, be courage, find the problems, yes, and solve them. Myself, just shortly, it's 8 minutes I have, I know, it's very short. I am 29 years now in renewable sources, renewables as a consultant, as a project leader, as an investor, researcher, development, money organizer. I don't know what I did not do in my life. In the field of renewable energy sources. And actually, so many times, you know, I attended so many conferences, so many beautiful words from the politicians, but actions do not follow. Many times, unfortunately. I have so many stories to tell you, but I will stick to the point what I want to tell you today. So, my first slide is, we have executed around over 300 projects, being the first installing power plant for photovoltaic power plants in Slovenia in 1998. First heat pumps in Slovenia, district heating systems on wood biomass. We developed actually all kinds of projects you can imagine. We even developed production of electricity from burning of dead people. You know, incineration of dead people, you can get electricity as well from this heat. That is not wasted outside, right? Anyway, what I want to tell you is, yes, pilot is first, then the second follows, and then just implementation worldwide. And always you find people who will say, it does not work, I don't like it, NIMBY effects and so on. We know this. And the same is at hydrogen. So just follow up. Our first technology, very briefly, is actually biomass boiler, which can burn waste, wet biomass, 70% of wetness, which is incredible. But we are producing heat and power with this kind of technology. You cannot find such boiler in whole Europe, not. You cannot. We were installing many of them. We know all technologies available, but this kind of technology, how you burn this moisture to get hydrogen and then burn hydrogen, this is very unique. But I just go on. The second technology is we developed small-scale cogeneration on wood chips. 50 kilowatt of electricity, 80 kilowatt of heat. Container version, 6 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters. So, whoever wants to be 100% independent and being completely green, Yes, he can go in photovoltaic, which is popular nowadays, but we are offering solution in small container, 1, 2, 3, and we can produce at night, high peak power, whenever you want, turn on or off electricity from wood chips. This is something which we should implement worldwide over the whole Europe, not only in Slovenia, yeah, if we want to be renewable. The last thing which I want to share with you now is this title. Companies knew for decades that recycling of plastic was not viable, but they promoted it regardless. This is an article being published, actually not 2 weeks ago, finding out that plastic waste is not being recycled as they are talking to us, but is rather being incinerated, right? Just very, very, very few cases are when bottles, which now we don't have plastic bottles, this is very good, they can be recycled. So there must be a better way to recycle this kind of end-of-life plastic, mixed plastic, different colors, contaminated plastic, and so on. And this is technology we developed for the last 9, 10 years. Go on. So what we do, we shred the plastic, all kinds of plastic, yeah, together. We get very small pieces, shredded plastics, go on, and then we gasify. 1 ton of plastic going inside the fluidized bed gasifier, very special one, not low temperature conversion gasifier. I'm not talking now in detail, we don't have time. And we produce what? Syngas, of course, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, 8% of methane, yes. And this is syngas we can use for whatever purpose we want. This is our gasifier, 10 meters high, capacity 1 ton per hour. Important is that from 1 ton of plastic per hour we get, and of course the most important case is, what is your costs of hydrogen produced in this way? So extracting hydrogen from plastics, because plastic contains a lot of hydrogen, yeah? Our costs are competitive on the market. So what is your problem now, you must ask me? Legislative. Simply put, we were on the Ministry of Environment, we were many cases, it's not possible to put this kind of project in our Slovenia beautiful place, because this is incineration. It is not, we are not having chimneys, but because we have this so-called thermal of the lava, I would say, that's why this is in the same rule, the same box than incineration. Anyway, this will go through because surely and surely using waste for higher level purpose, getting some useful products is the way to go, not to incinerate, right? So hydrogen must be available, must be relatively cheap, and must be produced whenever you want it, not when the sun is running or wind is blowing and so on, right? And of course, then now technology is ready. Problem is to implement. Do we have money? No problem with money. Can you imagine that BlackRock, just to tell you, called us, hey, we know your technology because we had exhibition in Germany and so on. We want to invest in your company 100 million euros. Just so like that. But please prepare business cases. Prepare business cases. Location, contract where you will sell hydrogen, right? And contracts for the plastic. To get plastic is a problem, guys. Because you will not get them. Because someone is getting money for incinerating the plastic waste. Just to remind you. The second, who will buy hydrogen? No buyers. Difficult to sell. 800 tons per year is our production capacity of hydrogen. Now, who can give me a contract to sell him? With low price, not high, not 10 euros, but 2 euros, let's say, per kilo, I can sell. When we went around, to Linde, to big guys, yeah, we don't need so much hydrogen now. Yet, not yet. So I don't have business case. Can you imagine this? I mean, these are reality, this is reality, but anyway, we will go through. But on the other side, the Chinese came to us. I mean, Chinese are incredible businessmen. They said, can you sell us technology? We offer good money. But then production is in China. And this is what is happening in Europe, in Slovenia especially. You know, the best technologies are sold outside Europe. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope it was enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bratkovič. I would have one question, if you don't mind to answer that still before we move on to the next speaker. Mr. Bratkovič, I would just have one question because you mentioned the comparison with incineration and so on. Could you provide some figures or some number in terms of overall efficiency of your system compared to incineration? So how does that relate?
Actually, I will say this, yeah, honestly, very honestly. To use plastic as a fuel to just incinerate is the most stupid thing you can do. But to incinerate some other wastes, RDF and so on, might be better than making gasification. So it's not we will gasify every waste, because to make good gasification, you have to have separate wastes. And plastic is one of the wastes which is most, I would say, valuable, and that's why we must make out of this plastic the most what we can. And hydrogen is one of those things. I'd rather tell you one thing. We made a proposal for EU funding to make from syngas plastic. You know, from syngas is a basic for plastic. Syngas, you go via methanol, and then you go to plastic, yeah? And our offer, I mean, proposal was the best valued, the most points, but the money was then gone. Somehow we did not get the money. But the institute like Fraunhofer was our partner and so on, so we were not kind of, you know, but money was just kind of, we didn't get it. Anyway, this incineration and gasification is like electric car and classic cars, right? Electric cars are much more environmentally friendly, would say, yeah? But of course, classic cars and also incineration will coexist in the long term. No doubt about that, yeah? Efficiency-wise, environmentally wise, financially wise, gasification is a way to go by multiple factors compared to incineration. But you have to have separation of wastes, yeah? While incineration, you can mix everything and just incinerate. That's the difference. So we have to have this so-called separation places, which we have now, yeah? And then we can beautifully gasify these different kinds of waste. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will have time for further questions afterwards in the question and answer part of this event.